Welcome to the Trading Lounge and the day ahead report. And here we're looking at the Shanghai market, and the reason for that is obviously the strong bounce that's come off this low through here. And the interesting thing is it appears we've got five waves going up through here in terms of the one, the two, the strong third wave, the fourth, and the fifth. That's normally followed. It's an impulse wave that's followed by an ABC correction, which is once you've got five waves here and three waves here, it's called a motive wave. There's 8 waves in that, and then we should see another 5 waves to the upside from that. That's about as much as we can predict. This structure here, this ABC here, may turn into a larger 5-wave structure to the upside in case like this here, or it can just have this 3-wave structure and fold over from here. So that's going to be an interesting point to take on board, because it's going to affect the region. And also we've got PMI figures coming out on Sunday, so just check them before Monday. And we've got China trade figures coming out on Monday as well, but that's tentative, so they may not come out. But there. But look, this is just a positive little story that's developing nicely, and I just thought I'd point that out. In relation to the S&P 500, the chart here. Sorry, I haven't got it labelled for us, but look, we've got this small ABC correction here, and from this we can push straight higher from here. Otherwise, we would be looking at, I'll use this here, we may be looking at a little 5-wave structure down here as an A and a B and a C wave here before we start pushing up into a 3rd wave up here, or we could just go straight up from here. I'm just not quite sure about that, but in terms of trading, then you need to trade what we see, and the idea was to be long on the 1410 and looking to add on the 1420 there. If that fails there, the stop is at 1407, then you've got to take an exit on that one there. Intraday traders will be trading the micro levels between 10 and 20 there. So yeah, the Dow Jones has moved up nicely. We were looking at this last week, and we understood that we had a little ABC correction through here, and then we started to see a nice little 5-wave structure up here, so I knew that we're going to get another one from there, but I couldn't see it past that. But the personality of that being strong dictated that, well, the bias would have been a 3rd wave. We're looking for a 4th wave to come back, which normally comes back 38.2%, yada yada yada, but you've got to work with large numbers. So as you can see, it's really come down here, so it's acceptable, and now it's moved up into a 5th wave up there. So what we can kind of expect here, well, at minimum in trading terms, we could look at an ABC correction across here. That still appears to be going further up through there, so support on the 13,150, the midpoint. You get support there, you go straight up to here and get out through here. Otherwise, we'd be looking for an A and a B and a C correction across here before we see further upside through there. So come what may, it doesn't really matter. You just trade what you see. So support on the midpoint, you're long. Otherwise, if this does start to come down, just allow it to come down and look for 3 kind of swings. And you can normally look in previous patterns here to find out, you know, the personality of the structure. This is a 3-wave swing, so we're looking like that. This one's a bit sharper here. So you can normally sort of find it, this one in here, depending on the time of day it is, you know, if it's happening in during hours, off hours, all those sort of things, the volatility, because you really need to trade when the volatility is in, when the volume's coming in the most, and you need to know exactly when that is in all markets that you trade, because you only want to trade the hours that have got volatility, especially if you're running, you know, mechanical systems or robots. You have to be in that volatility moment, otherwise there were too many losses occurring. But look, anyway, all positive for that side there. The Europe market's sort of slightly different. The DAX here has pushed up really nicely. It just can put this, I'll just chase this up here for a moment, because we were talking about this earlier in the week. We'd seen this corrective pattern through here, and we knew that we'd make new highs here. The new highs are here, and it does appear that we possibly 3rd, 4th, and a fifth wave coming up through here, and this is just a little fourth, and so this could be a little bit more of a high through here, but we have to expect a top after. We have to expect a correction after this run here. In terms of Wyckoff sort of work, we're looking at all of this correction here being also part of an accumulation process. So squaring this up with time and price would see us up at the 78 up here. Important numbers up here though are 7,500, then 7,800, and also 7,772, and then followed by 7,650. So they're the important numbers to the upside there. But as it goes in terms of trading, this is obviously rolling back over into the 75 here. There is good support at subgroup 2 in here. We do have this sharp three-wave move here, which would be an ABC type of correction through here. So that may be completed as it is here, this A, B, and C, or it may just be part of the A wave. So we could see further downside. Now, in terms of trading, if you've get support on top of the 75.30, the top of Group 1, well, then you go along from there. If it can't get support up, then it's not enough just to trade above it and come back. It's got to test it and find it. That it jumped up through there, that's fine. But when it came back and it got a little, but it didn't develop support there. And sometimes it can come down to the 20, the pivot here in Group 1, and then move back up from there, and that's always handy. But you can see that trading above something is not enough. It has to come back and test it, and if the test fails, well, then you don't get in. So it's just part of the process. So no support here means we're going to be looking further to the downside here. The Australian market is chomping along really well. So just looking here, this is the daily chart here. Of course, there's going to be a bit of a tussle at the 45.80 up through here, but what we're trying to look for now is counting 5 waves up through here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. This is looks like a little sort of wave 4 here, so we're looking for 5 waves up through here. The other important number up here, apart from the 4600, this old high here, the old high 4600, is the 4650. I'm just pointing it out now because it will come into play later on as being a high point there. But support on 4500 here gives us the target of 4800 up here. That's the next level up. Now, what we may see here is that we may see this little fifth wave come up through here, so we have to start counting like a 5-wave structure up through here. So after 5 waves, there's a 3-wave structure, so we may end up something like that and then push up through there. Now that would be the normal textbook thing, but the ASX 200 has got a really good sort of way of moving up. It just has very small pullbacks sometimes. You can see that when things get bullish. If I just go to the old bullish examples over here, you can see that it just continues to climb. It doesn't really have big retracement levels as such. It just keeps continuing. So that's something that we can look forward to in this particular run through here. So we may not receive heavy pullbacks through here, but look, in an odd way, we haven't really got support on the 4500 yet, because we haven't, because this is the sort of the arrival, the reaction. This is going to be like the first high above the level. This is going to be 5 waves here. It should take out the high of this one here. It may get to 4650, depending on what the Chinese market's looking quite healthy, depending on what the Dow does and the fiscal cliff and so forth. But we have to include this this pullback in through here, but our main job is to track these little 5 waves up through to here and find out when they finish, and that's pretty much what we're doing here. So from this point here, we know that we're looking for the wave 1 and wave 2 into here, and this is like the 3rd wave happening here, and that's the 3rd of the 3rd wave in there, that strong move in there. So support on the 45.50, the midpoint there will get us up to Group 2. There'll be a corrective pattern across here. We should gain support on that and get us to the 46. That should play out quite nicely in doing all of that. Alrighty, let's have a look at the commodities. They're pretty much doing what we sort of expected them to do, but let's have a look. I just want to start with the US dollar here. This is a 20-minute chart here. And we were looking for, obviously, wave 1 come down, and we'll talk about this in a bit more detail later, but wave 1 coming down and pretty much, oops, I don't have it here, this is just another chart. Because I run with the GFT platform here, I run different platforms, different templates, so I have all my metals on one template or indices on another template and currencies on another template for memory reasons as such. But look here, what we're looking for here is we're looking for from wave 1 up to wave 2, we're looking for an A wave, a B wave back down, and a C wave back up. So we're looking for a 3-wave pattern and then down again. So the 3-wave pattern can be finished here, or we can make one more little high here. I got a feeling we're actually finished here. This 2 can be to here quite nicely, and this wave 3 here can be this wave 3 here, this wave 4 here to here, and a wave 5 to here. So we can have a wave A in already. So we'll be looking for a B wave back, and if B wave back was the case, then we'll be looking for a 50% retracement level. 61.8 rather, anyway, 50-60 back into this sort of area here. Yes, there will be support in here, but basically a move back into here and then a move up through to here as a wave 2 and finish there and then roll down. So as this is coming down through here, we're going to see the euro pop to the upside, supporting indices and commodities and etc. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but here's the copper situation. So with copper, we're looking for a small wave 4 across the 365, the beginning of subgroup 2. We may have it complete in here already as an A and a B and a C here. It may be complete already, but wave 4s can always get sideways and complicated. So I'm just going to sort of assume that that it's going to get bigger. So an A and a B and a C wave down to here at minimum, and then move up. But it can be finished here now. But for the point of looking at the resources sector, it's material sector, it doesn't really make any difference because we know it's corrective until it makes out a high through here, but we know it's bullish in the next degree higher. So it's all happening. Even when we arrived here, we knew that we're going to be going through a lot of guesswork. But at the end of the day, we knew that we're going to get a correction, and once it's finished, it's going to move up, and then the resources will be that as well. So we can look at BHP on top of 72, and BHP in Australia at 34, and so forth. So it'll give us a good sort of indication of what's happening there, and also with the Australian dollar as well. There's a 80% relationship between the Australian dollar and copper. That can vary a little bit, but it's there. Okay, so that's all good. The gold market here, we're looking for a rally back into the 1700 here. It's still doing its thing in here. There's a couple of ways to count it, so I'm not really going to get into it that much at the moment. But we're going to look at it as a corrective pattern for the time being. However, come Monday and Tuesday, if support is found on the 1700 here, then it's tested it and it's got there and it's looking good and it's starting to move up. It's 1703 because 03 is like a little group 1 really. So support on that really triggers the trade to the long side of 1705. Support on 1705 gets you to 1708 and so forth. So you need to be on the right side of the closest largest number. And that just makes your trading life much simpler, but we are expecting a rally and then down again. But for all intents and purposes, if this market moves above the 1725 area here, then it flips the whole wave count to the positive side. So, but we're not there yet. But it's good not to miss this as well through here. So while it's above that, you'd be looking for long trades, but really keeping the position sizes small and really nailing it down much closer and using little sub levels within there. The oil market's weak as well, and the 65 number, which is basically the 8650, coming into play here. So as resistance, it's a really good little number to work with. So as you can see, we've got this strong third wave down here. So we would be counting this as down for 1 and back for 2, down for 3 and back for 4. Wave 4, once again, can get more complicated and more sideways before it drops down into the 85. There is support into the 85 here, as we can see from here from earlier today. So it's not going to be an easy run through here, but that little 5-wave structure here should be the bottom of wave 3. Then we'll have wave 4. Wave 4 can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So that was 1 lesser degree here. So we've got to put that there. And then this wave structure coming down through here is wave 1. Would be about the same length as here, so we'll just see a sort of a spike down through here. Also taking on another sort of picture here is taking the low of this out here confirms that the larger structure coming to the downside as well, because if it finishes within here, then really it can be still a bullish picture in terms of an A and a B and 5 waves for the C wave to come down. So technically it's got to take out the bottom here, so we're just making an assumption once again through here. But look, it's not easy because 85 is the biggest number, and that's what we're working to. And really, from around this region, I would only go short personally if the 85 became the resistance, and then trading down to the 83. So it's really not there. It's a bit tricky at this stage. So just be careful what you do within that space there. Alrighty, well, let's have a look at the Australian dollar, which should push back over above 105, so it's okay. The US dollar here, this way it's counted as 5 waves to the upside in terms of wave A up here, and looking for an ABC to come back 61.8 for the B for the US dollar, and then 5 waves up for the C here, which could take it up further than this, could probably take it to 81, because there's normally a relationship between wave A and wave C. Now they'll either have equality, or the wave C will be 61.8% of the wave A here. And I've labelled it this way here because of the euro. So when we have a look at the euro, its wave count is a bit cleaner. So coming to the downside here, you can see the mirror opposite coming down here. So we have this down for wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, down for wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So now we're looking for an A and a B and a C. The euro has shallow retracement levels, so we can't expect it to come back up to the 61.8% of the length of wave A, but let's just see how we go there with this. But anyway, support on the 129.30, the top of subgroup 1, would be the positive trade to the upside there. The Australian dollar, not a lot to say about this, but what I can say is that this move down through here, this A wave, and then an A and a B and a C for a B wave, and then 5 waves down for the C wave here, and ABC should see us new highs above here. So that's what we're looking for there. That said, this 3-wave structure here could see another 3 waves here, then 5 here, and then up through there. So a larger ABC. So this ABC here becomes the A wave, this becomes the B wave, and then we get a C wave down through here, and then we go up. So it could be a little bit sort of tricky, but once the market opens and settles, as long as it sort of stays above the 104.72, then we should be seeing new highs made through here. So, but if it drops below that, then you know what's going on, and then you'll know what to catch it again. So we'll be looking for a C wave to the downside, which could be from here, down for 1, back for 2, 3, 4, and 5. So catching it back at the 104.50. So look for a buying point at this point, or just take it from here and looking further to the upside through here. But any move to the upside here will be pinned within group 1 here. So just be careful about that. Support on the 105.30. That keeps it to the further to the upside. If you've been trading long in the Australian dollar, in the longer term, then just stay long. But shorter term traders still need to stay within the sub levels at this stage here until a proper support on the 105 is developed, and then we can start trading, for a day or so on that side of that number. Alrighty, well, look, a positive start to Monday, and it's nice to have China with us, but we just need to be a little bit mindful of the figures coming out on Sunday and also Monday as well. Alrighty, good morning, good luck, enjoy the day ahead. Cheers.